Hello, what about you? You're very welcome. Now, if you like any of this stuff, just hit the wee subscribe button down below. And if you don't like it, then unsubscribe. It's a free vote here. Oh, yeah. Unlike this week in the Assembly. Very interesting, wasn't it? Yeah. Whoever said Sinn Féin and the DUP would never agree on anything, well, they're going to have to reassess after this week because both parties united to defeat a bill by Alliance Party MLA John Blair to ban hunting with dogs in Northern Ireland, something that's banned right across the rest of these islands. Now, while all the other parties allowed their MLAs a free vote, not Sinn Féin. In good old North Korean style, Sinn Féin whipped their MLAs. Yeah.
You will vote the way we say you will vote. There is no room for individuality in the party.
Very good. Well done. The vote was defeated by 45 votes to 38 now, while all Alliance, SDLP, UUP, Green Party, People Before Profit, they all voted for the ban. All 25 Sinn Féin MLAs, along with 19 DUP MLAs and Jim Allister, they all combined to defeat the bill. Who knew that all it would take is a bill allowing men and horses to chase a fox for hours and then have their hounds tear it to pieces while it's still alive to bring Sinn Féin, the DUP and Jim Allister under the same tent. If only we had known. What is somewhat confusing about this is that Sinn Féin President Mary Lou MacDonald indicated she was against hunting with dogs. Indeed, it's illegal down south. Sure, foxes here would be safer going south. I'm not going to follow that up. Cynics are arguing the reason Sinn Féin have done this is that we're a matter of months away from elections and they rely on the rural vote. Well, if that's the case, if that's true, maybe a lot of city voters will reassess and decide they're no longer being represented by the party. Now, I've been criticised for my stance with the old argument that you're a city boy, you're not a city boy, you're a city, you don't know nothing about the country, and having to keep a curb on the vermin and the predators. Now, that would be true, except it's not true. I actually lived for most of my childhood in the country. All my family are still in the country. And they're not sort of lily-livered people. They're very reasonable, rational people. And if there's a need to cull a fox, they will cull a fox. But they'll do it humanely. What they don't do is jump on a pony and chase that fox until it's exhausted and then set the dogs on it. No, my people don't do that because that something was imported here by the English aristocracy. We don't do that. No, now don't get me wrong, we still love blood sports, but my people only fight things that can fight back. Do you understand? That's why sitting here tonight, I have a deficit of teeth. And a surfeit of stitches, because I like the old blood sport. But I will only hit something that can hit me back. Unlike the gimpless wimps who jump on ponies and have their dogs do the fighting for them. So, Sinn Féin, I don't understand. Maybe you can explain it to me. Explain it to me. When news broke last week that there had been a party at 10 Downing Street last Christmas when the rest of the country was in complete lockdown, the clever thing for Boris Johnson to have done would have been to come out and say, listen, it happened, I'm sorry, we're going to investigate, and we're going to reprimand the people responsible. But when has Boris ever done the smart thing? No. Boris defaulted into Boris world, and that means that he basically lied. No party. No party. Absolutely no party. And then when more leaks appeared, Boris doubled down. Definitely no party. Definitely no. I've been assured. No party. No party. No party at all. None, I tell you. No, on my heart, I swear. None. And then it came out. The video of number 10 advisor Alexa Stratton in a mock question and answer session with the 10 Downing Street staff trying to work out what they were going to say about the party, that it wasn't a party, that never happened.
I've just seen reports on Twitter that there was a Downing Street Christmas party on Friday night. Do you recognise those reports?
I went home. Hold on.
Would the Prime Minister condone having a Christmas party?
What's the answer?
I don't know.
Wasn't a party, it was cheese and wine.
Just be clear, it's not.
Is cheese and wine all right? It was a business meeting.
I'm joking.
This is recorded. This fictional party was a business meeting.
The poor old Alexa the next day gave a tearful resignation speech outside her house, which reminded me of a brilliant Dennis Skinner quote. And he said, "When posh boys are in trouble, they sack the staff." After hours, Boris eventually folded and agreed to hand over all he knew about the party that wasn't a party, that didn't happen because there hadn't been a party, to the police. Luckily for Boris, the Metropolitan Police decided not to investigate the party that wasn't a party, that didn't happen because there wasn't a party, because there was COVID lockdown. So I released the full list of my tour dates upcoming in December, January, February. God knows if they're going to actually happen, but hopefully. But oh dear, did I attract some attention? Ooh. I had a torrent of abuse. Yes, the anti-Cove, anti-vax brigade all weighed in. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun. You know what I mean? I loved blacking. You know I love blacking. It was great fun. But I was disappointed. I do have to admit, I was disappointed in the quality of the abuse that was directed towards me. I found it very, very poor. A lot of it was just videos of people vomiting. Omicron is on its way, and the anti-COVID, anti-vax lobby, it's probably what you're all going to be doing for the next couple of months, if you're lucky. But no, I was disappointed. There was only two sort of word ones, you know what I mean? Only two could manage to actually string a sentence together. One chap said that he would rather have rectal surgery than come and see me. That young man is deeply disturbed. I think he was something he wanted, to be honest with you. Another middle-aged lady, she said just to look at me would make her vomit. I helped that girl. I told her, "No, love, you're looking in the mirror. Turn the mirrors to the wall. You'll be all right, I swear to God." But I have to say, no, seriously, people, come on. Up your game here. Up your game. I've spent 20 years being a political satirist in Northern Ireland. I have been threatened by good threateners. I have been threatened by people who know how to threaten. People who totally get. People who know where you live. People who may even carry out their threats. So, if you're going to threaten me, let's put a bit of an effort into this, okay? Let's put a bit of thought into this. Come on. You can do it. I'd like to thank my friend Mark Lunn, who sent me this image of the recent anti-COVID, anti-vax, anti-mask, anti-life rally that was held in Belfast. This is very good. The blood of Christ is my vaccine. I don't know who this child is, and I don't want to burst his bubble, but I gotta tell you, son, see the Moderna and the AstraZeneca, they're much easier to source. Because if you do manage to get the blood of Christ, I would be very interested in a bit of that myself. You know what I mean? I've seen the movies. So, but take my advice. Easier path is a Moderna, AstraZeneca. Just telling you. Well, last week it was him made the balls up and not me, which is nice because it's usually me doesn't press record. But last week it was Terry McHugh. Didn't manage to press record. This week he has, and he's an interesting story. Yes, he's a man of many talents. He is an expert yo-yo. Yo-yo, yes, he's an expert of the yo-yo. If you come to see him live, you'll know that. But he also has an even bigger claim to fame. Mr. McHugh.
Very much. Jake, right, let's see. Yes, I've hit record, so this is going better than last week already. And this is not red wine. No. And even if it was red wine, it wouldn't matter because I'm not drinking it. And even if I was drinking it, it wouldn't matter because it's not red wine. But in fact, it wouldn't matter at all because it's not even a drink. I nearly spilled that all over the PlayStation. So, what have I been doing? Well, today I had to go and get me COVID booster. And I went in and they went, would you like your flu vaccine to go with it? And I was like, oh my God, 2 for 1 Wednesday's brilliant. And they give me them both. And then I was leaving, I went, oh, hang on, 2 vaccines at the one time. Is that not a bit? And they says, look, absolutely no side effects to getting them both at the one time. Don't be worrying. And in fairness to them, I haven't noticed any side effects yet. So if I do, though, I will be the first to let you know. About Northern Ireland suffered a great loss last week. A great loss. We lost one of our most cherished TV personalities. Yep, that's right. We lost a tree. In fact, we lost 2 trees. 2 of the dark hedges blew over. And they were given off, like, oh, it's the traffic around here is causing the trees to blow over. No, it wasn't the traffic. It's the fact that the trees are 300 years old and it was blowing a gale. I mean, I'm only 41 and a stiff breeze knocks me over these days. So any bit of wonder, 300 years old, blew over. And what I loved about it was, they were made famous by Game of Thrones. And I thought it was great, the fact that what actually caused them to fall over was a thing that sounded like a character from Game of Thrones. You could just picture it, Game of Thrones. Oh no, it's Storm Arwen. Mind yourself. But we were talking about it in the news. It was on the news, like, oh, the 2 trees blew over. And the girl in the news was very solemn, and she was talking like a Nobel Peace Prize winner and died. And then they cut to the clip of these trees in Game of Thrones, and I got very excited. I jumped up, went, look, that's me. My kids looked at me and went, what are you talking about? I went, that is me. And one of them went, Daddy, that's a horse's ass. We know it's you. Like, no, behind the horse's ass, on the cart, that's me. And they didn't believe me. Like, Daddy, if you had another stroke. And I was like, oh, this another stroke thing's getting tired. That's me. I was in Game of Thrones. And they're like, yeah, same way you were a yo-yo champion. I was like, I was a yo-yo champion. And like, the same way you're a comedian. I went, well, that one's debatable. But I was in Game of Thrones. I was in that scene. I'll show you. There's me in the cart. Look, that's me. There you go. See? That's me. Telling you. It's definitely me. But I was in Game of Thrones. And it's a weird style. I didn't want to be in Game of Thrones. I'd never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I was just walking through Belfast City Centre with my mate, and we seen a big long queue. And I says to them, I says, wonder what's at the end of that queue. And he says, you know what, we're grown-ups now. We don't have to be anywhere. Let's get in the queue and find out. So we stood in this queue. We went it was a hotel in Belfast, went in, and they gave us this piece of paper. And that's when we realised we were in an open edition for Game of Thrones. So I started filling this form. It was like name, address, postcode, date of birth, height, weight, all that kind of stuff. And then it got weird. It said, out of 10, how would you rate your horse riding skills? And of course, I went 10. Then it said, out of 10, how would you rate your sword fighting skills? And I went, well, I had a toy lightsaber as a child. 10. Then it said, have you ever been involved in a battle reenactment? To which I replied, battle reenactment? I'm from North Belfast. I've been in actual battles. Walked on around, handed me thing in. And one of the questions was, it says, can you do any accents? And I went, yes, I can do English. Oh, I might. I can do Irish. Hello, how are you? I can do Northern Irish. Do that really well. I can do Russian. Hello. Do you have the microphone? And I said I do a mean Sean Connery. And so I handed the thing in and I walked away. And they called me back and I went, oh Jesus, they want me to do my Sean Connery. So I did. I walked back up there going, oh hello, I am ashamed of myself for taking the piss on the phone. But she didn't want to hear my Sean Connery. She wanted to take a photograph. She took a photograph. Off you go. And off I went. Now I was much hairier back then, as you can see. Yep, I was going for the hunger striker look. So anyway, probably get in trouble for that one. Anyway, I went away, thought I'd never hear from Game of Thrones again. A couple of weeks later, got a phone call and there was a guy going, hello, would you like to be in Game of Thrones? And I went, I'd love to be in Game of Thrones. Have your people, call my people, we'll set up a meeting. And he went, do you have people? And I went, no, I'm just being a dick. So he says, come up for costume fitting and all the rest. And I was like, well, what am I going to be? What am I going to be? And he went, you, my friend, are going to be a member of the Night's Watch. And I went, ooh, what'll they do? And he says, they sit on a wall and protect the kingdom. Have you never watched the show? I was like, oh yeah, but I kind of forgot. And I says, oh, that sounds very noble. People sitting on a wall, looking after the kingdom, protecting the people. Yes, me, Terry McHugh, North Belfast, man of the people. That's the part for me. So I went home and thought I better watch an episode of this thing and see what's going to be expected of me. I sat down to watch it. I'm going to be a member of the Night's Watch. Turns out you can only become a member of the Night's Watch if you are a robber, a murderer, rapist. 250,000 people went through that open audition. 250,000 people filled in their application form. 250,000 people got their photograph taken. They were sitting in a room, flicking through a book of photographs, looking for someone who looked like he might murder you, rape you, and steal your wallet all in the same evening. They got to this face and went, "That's our guy." Yes, folks, can you imagine if Francie the Culture had been in Game of Thrones? They'd have called it Game of Thrones. In fact, no, they'd have called it Game of Tyrones. Ladies and gentlemen, premiering here tonight on Jake Uncut, featuring Terry McHugh. He still hasn't put the featuring Terry McHugh on the title. I'm working on it. I give you the premiere of Game of Thrones. Hey.
And winter is coming.
Jesus, by you're telling me winter's coming, so you wouldn't be out spreading slurry and all.
Francie in Game of Thrones. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Some people think me and Francie are the same person. We're not. Anyway, back to Jake.
I don't know about anybody else, but I've spent most of my life cringing when Northern Irish people appear on the news or the media, in the UK or even down south. It's usually Northern Irish politicians, I admit, but when they come on and it's BBC and
Sometimes now we're going over to Belfast to speak to the representative who wants to say,
and you just go, "Oh no.
you go,
And you go, no. And they say something so outrageously stupid. And you're sitting there mortified, thinking of changing your accent. Well, I had a wonderful experience the other day. I'm a big fan of James O'Brien, the radio host, and I think he's great. And I watch wee clips of him. I don't listen to the whole show. I watch wee clips. And there was a clip came up the other day, and he was talking to a woman from here, a woman from West Belfast called Brenda Goch. Hope I pronounced that right. But Brenda was on, and it was brilliant. It was superb. You know what I mean? It's one of the best representations we have had on national media ever. I usually go like this, and instead I was going, "You legend, you Brenda, you legend." So I'm going to stick it on at the end. This is the way to end this, because I think this deserves as many people as to hear it as we can, because it proves there's hope. There is hope. We're not all the same.
We have a saying here: you need to sit down and have a wee word with yourself. People are literally watching their health service crumbling, their school systems crumbling, children going to school hungry, and we're talking about children of people that are out working maybe 2-3 jobs to try and make their rent.
I know, and they lost 20 quid a week. They lost the 20 quid a week universal credit uplift, and people like what's his name? MP for Romford. Is it Rosendale? Andrew Rosendale came out and said, they don't really need it. And then said in the same month, I think, that the Conservative MPs can't possibly be expected to live on 80 grand a year because they're human beings and they have responsibilities. I don't know, Brenda, any more than you do, how people can watch that and not feel the...
Well, people can watch children going hungry. People can watch people standing outside food banks. But the system is so toxic, and it's backed up by programmes and morning television where you see benefit scroungers, the dodging of tax.
Allegra Stratton did a little bit of that.
So, exactly. And they're looking at this and they're going, "Oh, this is terrible," but they're looking at the wrong place. Are they aspiring to be like these people?
I don't know.
You need to sit down, have a word with yourself, stop allowing children to go hungry, stop being frightened of the Polish carpenter next door, because you have absolutely more in common with that person than what you do with the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg, who incidentally moved a lot of his business to Dublin.
Well, sort of. They opened up an office in Dublin so that they'd be able to retain ease of access to European Union markets. Actually, Brenda, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I don't think you need to read my book. I think you've got it all covered. I don't think you'll learn anything from it, but other people might. So I'll just mention again that it's 99p on Kindle. But I think, listening to you now, you could have written it.
Well, I appreciate your stance, but the bottom line is this: if you want to save your country, start saving each other, and stop looking at the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg, Boris Johnson. I actually stood and watched the Northern Ireland Secretary of State stand in the House of Commons yesterday and told a complete untruth about how business here is coping with Brexit. Northern Ireland, the business that's coming here is phenomenal because of what the English decided to do.
And that's their worst nightmare. Their worst nightmare is the demonstration via Northern Ireland of what single market membership does to the economy.
But Brandon Lewis literally stood and told, and I don't know what I can say on air, I apologise, but what he stated yesterday was completely untrue regarding the business community.
I need to double check. I haven't had a look, but I know that the numbers in Northern Ireland compared to the numbers in the rest of the United Kingdom are...
But they've been allowed to get away with so much, James, that they're literally standing lying day in, day out.
Well, all right then. Okay, let's go in on this then. What I'll tell you why it happens. And I mean, the media angle of it. Just think about this for a minute. Allegra Stratton is married to the political editor of The Spectator, who was best man at Rishi Sunak's wedding. So the reason why this doesn't get reported, and I don't want to be too mean about people that I have shared offices with or shared studios with, but if you socialise with these people, if they are godfather and godmother to your children, if they are your social circle as well as your realm of professional contacts, then what you could euphemistically describe as loyalty, but which I would and you would probably call cronyism, and that would be kind, it completely hobbles you when it comes to holding them to account and speaking truth to power. You can't speak truth to power if power is your kid's godfather. You just can't.
What you allow will continue. We'll put it interestingly like this, okay? Tony Blair is godfather to one of Rupert Murdoch's children.
Well, there you go.
And that happened... Sorry?
Well, there you go. I don't think Tony Blair is the solution to this problem necessarily.
No, he's not, but it's something like that should have been addressed at the time when it comes to what you call cronyism.
Yes.
The system has been completely dismantled over for the years. People aren't asking the right questions. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, people like Marcus Rashford, Jamie Oliver are trying to get children fed so that people can survive on a daily basis. This trauma that the people have been subjected to for so long, and we're talking globally, not just here, is going to have a long-term effect on the development and the future of the children that are up and coming. Dismantled homes, people struggling, neglected children. Children are not neglected because of bad parents, but children whose parents are working so hard that they can't devote their time and love and attention because they're too busy trying to keep them warm and fed.
This is it, Brenda. This is it.
Stop this nonsense.
Right, give me a one sentence. Hang on, because you're brilliant, and there's a lot of admiration coming in for you on the inbox. I've only got a minute left, and you've actually confirmed my decision. So not only could you have written my book, you're producing my programme now, because we will run the interview with Jamie Oliver immediately after the next break, precisely because you've reminded us about the people that do try and swim against this tide of nastiness and division. But
love Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, I love Jamie Oliver as well, but don't tell him I said so. The final question, you've only got a minute to answer it, is how do you reach these people then? Because they've seen what you've seen and they've ended up on the other side of the road.
Well, I came through, I'm 54, I'm from West Belfast on the Falls Road. I came through an exceptionally difficult time, and we're starting to come out of it, but you've got to fight back, and you've got to start with your neighbours, your friends, your family, and you've got to look after each other, and remember that the people beside you are the ones that are looking after you, not these billionaires that are basically creating state capture in the British government, but it's happening in every country all over the world. It has to stop.
And it doesn't matter whether they've come from Gdansk, Glasgow, Tikrit, or number 13.
The workers need to stand shoulder to shoulder. The workers need to do it. And you have to stop listening to the lies that are being peddled by people that are making money off the backs of the workers.
Brenda, thank you. I kind of needed that today. I'm really grateful to you for providing it.
Thank you for letting me speak on your show, Jane.
That's all, folks.